Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Astral Drive, episode 9. I am not alone. With me is the intrepid players. Directly above my head is Aether Dios playing Gerald Abrego. Next to him is Philbilly330, Buildmaster General, playing Nellis Stonehand.
What's up, guys?
And then our unofficial TTRPG partner, Wizard's Respite, is playing Alfred Whitecastle.
Buddy.
Alright, so to catch up, we had just finished the briefing. Harrison Arn, the chair of the first, had basically told you all that your group was going to take the missionary one down to the planet because of its cloaking device and its smaller size, making it more able to access the mountains closer to the Dead Seas' main city in order to get there, assess the situation, and possibly destroy the hub that Gull Draxon, the tribal leader of the Dead Seas, is using to control the Zix with the gauntlet. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
So much wonderful information. After that, Nellis had a long conversation with our friend Rex, right?
Yep.
And Rex had basically said to work it out so that his friend... I wrote it down. It was...
Heath Welker.
Yes, thank you. Heath Welker, who is more trained as a assassin sort of person from Axiom, from the ADF, would be included on this mission to aid you guys once you're on the planet. And then Alfred had been interrogated by Harrison Arn on his obsession with the expedition and whether or not he's part of the echelon of the end. Correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Did I miss anything important? I don't think I did, right?
Did you go over the intrigue with the echelon?
Okay, so the intrigue with the echelon, yes. It is a group, very mysterious. Both the ADF and the Hearth Collective know about them, but not much about them, other than they don't really have an army, so to speak. They're much more like almost like a conspiracy. Like they have agents embedded within all the groups. And we are unsure exactly what their overall goal is, but they definitely wanted to kidnap Gerald Abrego's character for whatever reason. It is suspected that it is because Gerald Abrego is that Gerald Abrego must be on the missionary one for it to work. Basically, it is keyed to his DNA, so it cannot launch without him being on it as a failsafe, since the Church of Matthias actually paid for the missionary one's construction. Did I get it all that time?
I believe so.
All right. Okay, so who are we gonna start with? I think we're gonna start with Nellis. Nellis, you finish up with Rex. What do you do?
Okay, so
And Taya Vault wanted you to join the ADF, right? I didn't
yeah,
that
but
either.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to Rex about, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to eventually make my way to go talk to either. Well, why am I drawing a blank on his name?
All the names. Are you talking about Thaddeus?
Yeah, I want to make my way to either Thaddeus or Alfred Whitecastle. to talk to them
Okay.
about keeping up my end of my little bargain.
Okay. All right. You head towards Thaddeus's. As you approach Thaddeus's room, you see that his door is actually slightly ajar. It's not closed all the way, and you can hear raised voices from inside. However,
Oh yeah, because I knew he was arguing with what's her name?
Taya.
Yeah.
However, you can't exactly hear what the words are. Right
Yeah,
now,
I want to try to listen in.
Okay, well, you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
You will need to do a stealth check and agility. The difficulty on this is going to be a 10, and it will be a roll you can gain momentum on, since you called for it.
Oh yeah, I killed it. 20 total.
Ooh, really tempted to spend a momentum to make you re-roll that. No, I'm gonna let it go. All right, you hear them fighting, and then you start to creep up. Like you get a little bit lower. You tell Pickles to wait and stop clicking so much, and you actually manage to get up to the door so you can hear pretty good. And inside, you hear Thaddeus. This was never part of the agreement and never part of the plan. That poor boy is in serious danger. Serious danger. She's like, I will have you know I am still the Admiral of the ADF. I will not have you raise your voice at me in private quarters or otherwise, Thaddeus. Thaddeus is like, I'll raise my voice to you, madam, wherever I see fit. I don't care about your title. You're on a Hearth Collective ship. And as for it, you know that the closer he gets to the situation, the worse it's going to become. That's why we did this. That's why we put him in this position in the first place. That's why I stepped in to make sure that he wouldn't go back to that godforsaken planet of yours. And she's like, I will not be screamed at. I am going to leave. You can think about it. He's like, you will be leaving when I am good and ready for you to leave. Like, he is really getting pissed at her. And at this point, you actually hear a small scuffle, like a quick like jerk and like a slamming of something up against the wall. I'm gonna ask you if you're gonna keep listening or step in.
I'm like getting mad because I feel like the guy that I trusted was trying to keep something from me.
So many secrets. You can wait or not. It doesn't matter. But I just need to know if you want to wait or not, because if you step in, it'll change. You know what I mean? It'll change what happens inside.
I want to wait a minute.
All right.
Is there any way I can see?
Stealth check difficulty would be like a 20. Because these are combat hardened veterans that are going to be able to spot the large orc face peeking in the doorway. It's your call.
Now Nellis is mad, but is Phil also mad? I'm kind of mad for Nellis.
So many secrets. This is the political intrigue game.
It really is.
It really is. You guys have done more like political intrigue than combat.
Damn it.
What would Nellis do?
I must ask for a decision, sir.
I know. Would it make my difficulty? No, I'm gonna try to see.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna use. Isn't it if I use a token, I can lower it by 2?
Yeah, I believe so.
Or how many is it to spend
Actually,
to reroll?
It's 2 to spend to reroll.
Okay.
It's a 2 for a reroll. Let me just really quickly look up momentum so I don't get it wrong as far as what you can do with it. Went too far. Too far. Too far.
Man, this show just keeps getting harsher and harsher with these characters. And all
oh, dude, I have so many plans for you guys. You guys have given me so much to work with, too. All right, so here's how you can use momentum. You may spend a momentum on non-contested rolls specifically. You may, for each momentum spent, a player may drop the slated difficulty by 2, or you may spend 2 momentum to re-roll a roll. But you must keep the second roll unless you spend another 2 momentum. That's how you can use it on that.
All right.
4 now because he just accomplished the one thing, right? You just accomplished your self roll.
Oh, that was just to listen in.
That was listening. He's trying to see without being seen.
I'm basically trying to slowly nudge the door ajar a little more, so
trying
I
to
can
poke his head in.
all
Looney
right.
Tunes poke his head in without being seen.
I'm gonna try for the 20. I have a +5, so
Okay.
I need a 15 or higher. I rolled a 10. I'm gonna re-roll it with 2 momentum.
Alrighty.
I fail, so they're gonna know I'm there.
Okay. Alright. So you try and scooch the door open just a little bit more. And it's kind of like a slider. So it squeaks just slightly. And the minute it squeaks, you know you're seen. You know you caught. But you do get to see in the room right away. And in the room, basically Taya, the massive ogre, has put Thaddeus against the wall. One hand firmly clamped around his shoulder. And you could tell from the bump out that you heard outside that this was a very forceful sort of thing. But as soon as that squeak happens, her whole body tenses and she turns. And you could just tell Taya is... We've already talked about it. Taya is an ogre from Axiom, and to be the standing chair of the admiral of the ADF is a very difficult place that requires tons of combat training, tons of political training, tons of everything. It all comes to life for just that second when you come in that door. You can really see, oh man, she has the capability. She has a lot of capability. So she tenses and turns, kind of almost as if you were like an attacker. Then she sees you. Then she takes a deep breath and releases Thaddeus. She steps back and goes, I do believe this is no longer the time or place. Good day. And then she turns and looks at Nullus and goes, Ah, Mr. Stonehand, I apologize you had to witness such brutality. But if you'll excuse me.
I would step aside for her.
And then as she walks back, she goes, maybe you should consider keeping more mannerly cohorts. And then she just walks off down the hall. Thaddeus takes a deep breath. Come on in.
I look at him and I'm like, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I am good.
Well, with all due respect, fuck you. And I walk away. And I'm gonna go head towards Alfred.
Okay. He lets you go.
So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to find Alfred.
Okay.
I'm pissed.
You go to find Alfred. Alfred, what were you doing after you met with the general? Oh
a good
wait,
question.
you talked to Gerald for a second, right?
Yeah, I did.
I think that was after the general. I think that was like one of the last things we did.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
was really close to the end. My last big scene was with the general, but
Okay,
yeah, I
right.
think
But
I
I
went to
thought,
go find
yeah, I thought. So what do you do after all that? Like, where would you
after I
be
talked.
for him
I'll
to find you?
probably. What time of day is it? Like, how late in the day is it?
Yeah, I think because you guys were leaving the next day, right? Like that was the
Yeah.
plan. I think you're probably going into evening at this point.
Oh, that's right. Now I remember what I was gonna do. We ran out of time before I got to do it though.
Okay.
Um, because I think I left Gerald at his apartment, right? Or he was headed back to his apartment.
Yeah,
Uh,
I did my part when we were talking, telling Kelly about the good news.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's right. That's right. So I was actually gonna go. I remember Gerald mentioning how, I think he hadn't had anything to eat like at the beginning of that session or something like that. So I was actually gonna go to the cafeteria and see if I couldn't get food scrounged up for him.
uh, okay. Oh yeah.
Because I
Okay.
know there was trouble like getting the food going and the cafeteria going.
Yeah, all the cooks are psychopaths.
Yeah,
All
basically.
right. All right, you head to the cafeteria. Yeah. So you know what, Nellis, you find him in the cafeteria. Just kind of you're heading back towards his place, his office, and you just end up seeing him in the cafeteria. And you just finished a conversation where the remaining cooks are like, "We'll definitely get some food down to him as ASAP. We don't want the VIPs going hungry. We've just been struggling up here, but we've got it handled. We'll get it to him within a half an hour, basically."
Well done. Thank you.
I obviously look like, just so you know, when I approach you, I look like flustered and you know when someone looks like they're thinking a lot, like just reflecting.
Yeah.
Like that's how I would approach you, but I'd be like, White Castle, there was something I wanted to run by you.
I pull out a handkerchief and I hand it to you. Is it gonna bleed again? Who knows? I mean, you get this look. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope not at this point. But on a serious note, I wanted to possibly maybe put a name in your ear for somebody who I may want to recommend to fill one of the slots on our little expedition that we're leaving for tomorrow. And I know this is gonna sound fucked up because I know you're not a big fan, but I was talking to
Rex Stonetooth.
I was talking to Rex, and one of the guys I wanted to put his name out there. He's actually working for the other team, or whatever you guys want to call it. He's an ATF member, but I ran into the guy on Genesis. It's kind of a long story, believe it or not. So I was lead ranch hand on Stonehand Ranch, and he must have been on a mission on planet at some point in time, and he got separated from his group. I don't know what the hell them boys were doing out in the boonies, but the man ended up taking refuge in one of our steer barns for a few days, and obviously I got to know him fair enough and see some of his skills. The man was, I mean, he's an assassin. From what I could gather, but just wanted to throw the name out there because I think maybe it could be a useful part of our crew to use somebody who has infiltration skills, seeing as how it sounds like you and I are going to be doing a lot of that and may need some help in that realm from another person who is suited to do so. So, I mean, if it means anything, guy's name is Heath Welker.
Heath Welker. So let me get this straight. You were talking to Rex, the spy that was with the raiders that invaded our ship. And
Correct.
he recommended this Heath Welker, which you happen to know because he ended up on your ranch at one point. And you saw that he had excellent assassin skills.
It wasn't so much even that Rex recommended him. It was just through conversation. We were drinking some coffee. I was trying to get an idea of the layout of what we may be going into, trying to gather some intel, and through conversation, the name came up, and I recognized the name, obviously. Wasn't so much Rex's recommendation as it is mine.
Okay, I'm going to use a cold read token. I think that Alfred would totally use a cold read token at this point.
All right, it is used. He is lying.
So now,
well,
Alfred knows that.
I mean, he's specifically lying about knowing Heath Welker before.
Right, okay.
Because there was plenty of truth in there, but the lie would be that he knows Heath Welker. He is lying, yes.
Interesting. I'll definitely consider that. Walk with me to my office. And I start leading you out of the cafeteria and down the hall towards my office. So,
Follow.
aside from your mutual comrade, this Heath Walker, were you able to get anything useful out of Rex?
Believe it or not, yeah. So, damn, I didn't write some of this stuff down. But so basically, where I found out where we are going to be landing, and that it's a fairly peaceful civilization of traders. Not traders as in backstab you, traders, but
Traders
merchants.
with a D. Traders with a D.
Merchants and the like, who actually, from what I hear, will probably be quite fond of our godly companion that we are going to be bringing along, which could be good for us in a way, because get some camaraderie within the locals.
Right.
And I also found out where Rex believes that this hub is located. However, he's never physically seen it, but what I understand is that it's underground. Obviously, this Galdraxton's group it's in a mountain, where their hideout is located, and he uses mages of some kind on a rotation to keep this hub in his control.
I see. And and Rex, he gave you this information freely?
Yeah, why not? I mean, he is, after all, going on the mission with us. He's going to need us as much as we need his information, so us going in blind is no benefit to him, is the way I look at it.
What is your read of this, man? Do you really think we can trust this information? Or are they just baiting us in to get a hold of our ship?
Honestly, I don't see anything that he said as being untrue. I mean, I can usually spot a liar. I don't see that as being the situation. However, I've been wrong before about people, and I get like pissed.
Is everything all right with you, Nellis?
Yeah, I'll be fine. Just a lot on my mind with the upcoming mission coming up and demons in my head and whatnot.
Yeah. So, what's that about? Is that what the nosebleeds? Is there a demon in there making you nosebleed every time you use your magic, or?
No, that's well, I mean, I'd like to know just as much as you would, but blood magic is a form of channeling the magic on Axiom, which is obviously where the orc side of me at least resides from, and that's what I'm using. However, from what I gather, typically you're sacrificing blood, as in cutting yourself or something along those means to use it, and I just so happen to naturally hurt myself from the inside out. I suppose that's all the nosebleeds are, nothing more.
So wait, you have a natural gift to bleed from your nose and channel magic.
You focus so much on this nosebleeding thing, don't you?
I'm really glad that you're on my team here. You just spurts out and magic. From my world, they have to use tiny robots to control magic. I don't really understand it myself. It's not my area of expertise, but this is quite astounding.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Why? My concern is this. As you know, Rex and I may have gotten off to a wrong foot. I don't actually hold anything against the man. If he was a spy working for the Axiom military, then he was just doing his job. He didn't come to hurt us, and as far as we can tell, he hasn't actually harmed any Hearth Collective personnel on the ship. But that doesn't mean he doesn't hold a grudge against me. And now this assassin is going to be joining our ranks. If I let him on my crew, Nellis, can I count on you to watch my back?
Listen, we watched each other's back to get to where we are right now. I wasn't planning on that changing. I need you to survive just as you're gonna need me. I'm not in this from a place of stabbing anyone in the back, even though some people may be capable of doing such things, but that ain't where I'm coming from. Honestly, I'd like to learn a few things and take care of this threat that could potentially end up on a planet that I truly care about the people that I've left behind there.
Right, Nellis. I'll see about getting this man issued into the crew.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, his skill set it's something to think about at least, right? It scares me to a point as well, and I could see your apprehension from the standpoint of a man who is skilled at backstabbing people, essentially. We would be inviting into our ranks, and I only know him as much as the time he stayed with me, but
we keep our friends close and our enemies closer.
yeah.
I want you to stay close to this man and alert me the first moment you feel that something is afoot.
No, absolutely. No problems from me there.
All right. I'd rather have you gain his trust and lookout for him than for him to not trust anyone on our ship and always looking for an opportunity to sabotage. I will look into this, Heath, and I'll fill out the paperwork necessary to get him issued onto the ship. After that, I guess we'll just have to prepare for whatever comes.
Fair enough. So all this is a bunch of guesswork, ain't it?
Suppose so. I'll talk to Thaddeus a bit about this and figure out how to get the paperwork moved forward with him as well. I believe Thaddeus will be coming with us.
Yeah, I believe so too.
Are you sure there's nothing you want to talk about?
Nah, man, I just a little anxious, you know. You know how it gets.
Absolutely. I'm always anxious right before we're about to go into a mountain and filled with enemy pirates that just invaded our ship in order to attack a giant ball of hell.
Yeah, I as far as from what I learned though, maybe our first step would be obviously Rex is in the ranks. He has a plan, actually seemed somewhat logical to me, just so you know, of getting us in there. Basically, the story, the idea he had came up with is basically we are the ones who brought him back from the raid as he got lost. And that's how he's going to try to get us into the stronghold, into their ranks as basically his savior.
That makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to have to speak with him at some point and hash out some of these details, figure out what our aliases are, the alias for the ship, the like. But yes, that will work.
And I know, maybe for your peace of mind, I know that the ATF isn't friendly with our group, but just keep in mind if you were in his shoes as a spy and you were caught by the ATF, you may not have acted much differently than him. I know I wouldn't.
That's most likely true. In fact, I would most likely act much worse.
See? Just to put your mind at ease, maybe he ain't such a bad guy. He seems alright to me.
Well, like I said, keep an eye on him, and I'll issue the paperwork necessary.
Sounds good. I appreciate your time.
Of course. Anytime.
So you guys split up. Nullis, I'm assuming you're going back to your quarters at this point to get some sleep?
Yeah.
Okay.
Think and sleep and maybe call on my demons.
Okay. All right. We'll come back to that. Alfred, so you're going to see Thaddeus next, or Rex next, or who next?
I'm probably going to go see Thaddeus next.
Perfect. All right. You get to Thaddeus's door, and it is weirdly open, halfway open.
Can I do an awareness check to see if I hear anything suspicious coming from the inside?
Definitely. Calling for rolls, guys, is always the way to get momentum.
Okay.
If you could pass those checks.
I got an 18.
Oh, and Phil, you got a momentum for that first stealth roll, right? Not the second one you failed, but the first one.
Oh, no, I didn't. Thank you.
Yeah. What'd you get, Wiz?
18.
Take a momentum, and you, there's no danger, but it definitely looks weird that his door is just half open. You kind of very slowly peek in, and when you peek in, he is kind of just sitting on he's sitting on like a chair, like a more comfier chair, with a slight table next to it, and he has a bottle of scotch next to it, or what constitutes scotch in Hearth Collective, and it is half empty, with a cup in his hand. And he's just kind of sitting there drinking. A very aware man, he doesn't even notice you enter.
Okay. Do you happen to have another glass?
He looks up. He goes, "Oh, Mr. Whitecastle, I always have another glass for you, my friend. Come in, have a seat." He puts on the jovial tone, but you can tell there's like a tinge of kind of sadness and regret in his voice. But he kind of gets up. You also notice a slight misstep when he goes for the glass. He's handling it very well, but he is definitely at least slightly inebriated. He grabs the other glass. He goes, "On the rocks or dry?"
Dry, of course.
He pours a couple fingers for you, hands you the glass. He goes, "I do have some bad news for you, my friend."
Oh?
I'm going...
Feels like we've had enough of that for one day.
Fair enough. We've definitely had enough of that. I am going to be having to sit out for this mission. End your expedition.
Take a deep breath and a drink from my glass. Thaddeus, does this have anything to do with the sour mood that Nullus is in? I know
Almost
you two are
certainly.
close.
You're very astute, but yes, of course it has something to do with that. But I've lost trust with the boy. Can't be helped, and I can't go on a mission that I'm not trusted. He then kind of walks over to a bookshelf and starts to kind of thumbs through the books. He goes, "I do hope that you would do a little favor for me." And then he pulls a book down and then walks it back over to you. It's a relatively old book. You've never seen a book of this style before. If you want to attempt a knowledge roll, knowledge intelligence, I will give you a chance to kind of recognize it in some way, but it would be very foreign to you, so I'm going to say it's a 15.
Okay. Would linguistics help me at all?
No,
As a skill?
this is
Okay.
more like recognizing where it came from.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm going to give you linguistics. Yeah, linguistics would work, because you would be able to notice the language, so yeah.
Okay. Shoot.
Nothing?
All right, I'm gonna use momentum and try and. No, I'm not. Okay.
It's not worth that. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Don't use your momentum and then the serial killers come.
I know, right? Not for a book.
He hands it to you and goes, "Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do to rectify the situation. Sadly, what Nellis doesn't understand is secrecy in his particular situation was the only thing that was helping him. And he is about to go down a path that I literally cannot follow. I can't watch him do this to himself. And I am unfortunately hands tied to be able to stop him from going on it. So he hands you the book. He goes, "Please give this to him. He'll be able to read it. I've shown him enough of the Axiom ancient languages to be able to learn from this book. But possibly it could prepare him slightly for the trip that he's about to take and alleviate some of his rage."
Thaddeus, what on earth is going on?
And therein lies the conundrum, my friend. I cannot tell you. I cannot tell you because you would most certainly tell Nullus. And Nullus cannot know. And that is the problem. That is the eternal problem that I face. And I have sat on it, and I have thought on it. And unfortunately, I don't know what else to do. At quite a loss, Mr. Whitecastle. And he takes another big drink and sits down in the chair, kind of exasperated.
I'm assuming this has something to do with the demon he keeps talking about seeing. You have to level with me, Thaddeus. Is he safe to take on this expedition?
I don't know. I don't know.
I pour myself more drink out of that scotch.
I don't... All I can say is there's a reason I don't want him on that planet, and there's a reason I can't tell him anything. But that reason is not something I can share, because to share it would mean it's out there, and it creates more danger. He is driven to find out who he is and who he was before he became Nellis Stonehand. I don't know if that will lead to his demise. I don't know if that will lead to his salvation.
But you can't be there to watch it happen.
I can't do anything. Hopefully that book will give him some answers as to why, but I cannot do anything. So I have to back out of this expedition. I apologize, but anything I do in the situation to try and regain trust with him could destroy him. And if I don't do anything to regain trust, I can't possibly be on this mission with you. So I have to step away, because whether he will ever believe it, I have come to care for Nellis Stonehand quite a bit, and I cannot be there for his possible demise.
This puts me in a challenging position, my friend.
If you are asking me if I think that he will endanger the mission directly, I do not believe so.
He's a good fighter, and has a level head in the middle of action. And that magic he has, well, that's not something that we have on the archipelago.
Exactly.
Not like that. But you will be missed.
I won't be missed that much. I put on a brave face, but I've been icing down my knees in private since we went through that whole ship ordeal. I'm a relatively old fellow, and I have spent the last decade and a half training people, not acting in the field. I believe it's for the best anyway. I would slow you all down.
But can you at least give me some advice? Something I should look out for when we enter that atmosphere? Is something that may happen to Nellis, something I could try to avoid a disaster.
I can tell you some things. And at this point, I am not going to tell you anything. I am instead going to eventually tell it to you via text. Because we're all keeping secrets here, and if I say it out loud, it will give a lot of plot away. But he will swear you to secrecy on the details he is willing to give you.
Okay, I'll definitely take that swear.
Okay. All right. We have got to switch over to Aether Dios. Aether, what are you doing right now, buddy?
I mean, we just kind of resolved.
Yeah.
Well, not resolved. Explain to Kelly exactly how messed up this. That the details of joining the mission have become significantly more complicated.
I should also be getting a nice dinner. Compliments Alfred.
It's true. You do get a nice dinner.
That would be wonderful.
You do get a nice
great.
dinner. Compliments of Alfred.
That's a nice interruption.
There's a pro. Murder cult? Con. Good food? Pro.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice room. It's a really nice room, too. I'm not sure what Gerald really needs at this. As far as he's concerned, it's been very successful. He's done almost everything he's been sent to do.
All right, you get some food.
Other than the mysterious side thing, which is really ruining the books for the trip.
Okay, you eat some food, you relax. Your doctor friend just goes back to sleep because she needs to recover if she's going to go with you tomorrow.
Yep. You definitely got to go through the supplies. And I mean, you can't get into the ship yet.
You do get a call real quick.
Oh.
Directly from the concierge. I cannot remember her name. I know she had one. I don't remember it. If you noted it down,
Kathy.
gain an experience point. 'Cause there's no fucking way. I'll give you that for that memory. All right. Kathy. Kathy calls you. Hello, Mr. Brago. I truly apologize for bothering you in such a later hour. But I have been informed that a one Taya Volk would like to see you in a certain briefing room.
Oh, that's Well, thank you. Is now?
Yes, now.
Oh gosh. I'll how do I get there from here?
You get there. She gives you directions.
Can you get? I'll
Actually, she'll come personally escort you.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I was just gonna panic slightly and get cleaned up.
Okay.
And
we're going to do a quick switch to Alfred. Alfred, you get notification directly after your conversation with Thaddeus that you are to report to meeting room 1A.
Okay. And no other information than that?
No other information. It's literally over the loudspeakers. You don't even get like a call.
All right, I'll head in that direction.
All right. As you're heading in that direction, you kind of round a corner, and there's Gerald Abrego being led by Concierge Kathy in your general direction.
I'll definitely approach to meet them. Meeting room 1A, I presume? I asked Kathy.
And he's like, yes, yeah, would you mind taking Mr. Abrego? Mr. Abrego, if that's all right with you.
Yes, sure. Hello, Mr. White Castle.
Come along.
Kathy's so excited. She looks very tired, seeing as though she's doing concierge duties after a life-threatening monster attack. She's got like bags under her eyes and shit. She's like, wonderful! And then she just like walks off. All right, so you guys head towards 1A.
It's
How was dinner?
Lovely, thank you. Why is Highball talking to us?
Highball.
I like that it's almost screamed. Like it's a... Why is Highball talking to us?
Yeah, I'm like surprised at this point. Like, is that who has called us to the conference room? I was just alerted over the intercom.
Oh no, I hope that wasn't.
Don't worry. I don't know what she wants, but we are about to land on her planet and kill people on her planet in order to kill a giant black ball of hell. I'm pretty sure she wants to talk to us a little bit more.
GBOH.
Yeah, no, that's fair, sir.
You guys arrive at the door.
Are you ready? I look you up and down, trying to figure out, like, what state are you in?
Dressed to the nines as usual, but been nervously twitching the entire time.
Take a deep breath. and let it out. Let it out. You don't hold it. There, you feel better. And I slap you on the back.
Who says we don't have a light-hearted adventure going on here? All right, you guys head in. Ty Volk is sitting there at the table. Rex is also there to her immediate right. She's drinking a tea, which is kind of comical because she's an ogre. She's an ogre woman, so she's huge. She's the biggest thing in the room, obviously. But she's still kind of sipping this tea with like a poise to her where she could drink it in one gulp easily, but she just takes a sip and then she goes, "Ah,
Yeah.
soon to be Captain Whitecastle." And I'm sorry, I have not ventured to Genesis much, so I'm not sure if you have a title, Mr. Abrego, but if you do, I will use it from here on out. Please come in both. Have a seat. We have negotiations.
Oh, nope. Mr. Abrego is fine.
Wonderful. Mr. Abrego it is then. Do you guys come in and sit down?
Yes. And as I walk in, I say, negotiations?
She's like, "Yes, we do. We have negotiations. As I have heard that you will be requisitioning not just Rex here, but another one of my men."
I look over at Rex, just at a glance. Is he smirking or is he anything? Or should I roll an intelligence check?
He
or-
looks like he wants to eat you. That's the face you get from him. He does not like you at all. But when he scowls at you, Ty goes, "Rex, enough of that." He goes, "He tortured me in an interrogation." She goes, "I would have tortured you too. Come now. You're from Axiom, not Hearth Collective. We can respect a man of action in the field."
I lean
Isn't that right,
over.
Mr. White? Isn't that right, Captain Whitecastle?
A man of action indeed. And I shall, for the graces of diplomacy, hold my tongue on anything further.
She's like, "Well, a man of action and diplomacy. Can't go wrong. So, what we have to negotiate is you would like to use another one of the ADF on your ship, correct? I believe... I am not quite sure of the name.
I was given the name Heath Welker by one of my crew. He says that he had encountered this individual actually once before, found him to be fairly effective in the field, and wanted to recommend our use of him.
Taya takes a deep drink of her tea and then looks at you and goes, "Of course. This is why I called Mr. Stonehand to speak with me privately right after I met him. I wanted to personally thank him. His family did the ADF a great service when they aided Mr. Welker all those years prior. So it's very understandable. It's very understandable that we would be able to return that favor to him."
Can I do a awareness check to see if she's lying?
Sure.
Intelligence or perception for this one?
It would be perception awareness.
Okay.
And the difficult... Oh, it's contested. I gotta find her.
Okay. I got a 10.
It's probably not gonna beat her.
Probably not. I hope she whiffs.
You have no idea if she's lying. I mean, with the exception of what you know about what Nullis said, if she's lying, she's one of the greatest liars the world's ever seen. She says it to you, bold-faced, with no micro, whatever they call them, anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll for Taya and for Rex.
Okay. Just awareness.
And for Nullis, because I'm in this blind. I'm not aware of any of these things that happened.
Nullis is not there.
Sorry, it was Alfred.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go for it. Roll. I'm going to just say one straight perception awareness. Tell me what you get.
All right. 22.
Wow. Wow, indeed.
Somebody's
Okay.
quite aware.
All right. Yeah. Let me see what you could glean from just this exchange. Alfred has a high level of suspicion for the situation. This is not unlike Alfred's just normal demeanor, though, since you've known him. But he definitely has a high level of suspicion for this. However, he seems to kind of take what Tyvolk says at face value. However, you have grown up in a church based around money. So you are somehow incredibly good at figuring out exactly who's lying to you. And while Tyvolk is an exceptional liar, you can tell she's lying. She's lying to White Castle about the whole whatever this is. As far as Rex, your perception awareness, he doesn't like nothing. That's basically what you get from Rex.
Yeah, so he's in basically the same position I am as, like, why am I here?
Yeah, he's just here. He's just here. So, yeah. Okay, so, do you say anything on that, or should we continue?
Nope.
Okay. All right, so, Alfred. Wait, where were we in the conversation? She's a practice liar. She finishes basically backing up Nellis's story word for word. And giving a reason why she talked to Nellis in the first place.
So, given this situation, what are your feelings on Heath joining the crew?
Heath is an incredibly valuable member of my personal guard. I have used Heath in many missions. He is incredibly talented in missions like this. Which is why, while I do want to repay the wonderful favor that the Stone Hands did for us all those many years ago, I must ask for a small favor in return.
And please tell me what that favor might be.
Well, the favor is unfortunately not for you, though I believe you need to be present. The favor is, in fact, for Mr. Abrego. You see, Mr. Abrego, if I am correct, the Church of Matthias actually owns this new ship, the Missionary One, correct?
About 72.5% of it, yes.
I would like a personal tour.
Oh, I would as well, actually.
You haven't gotten a tour of your own ship?
There was
Hearth
the whole
Collective
thing
does
with
a very
the
interesting
demons. It's been a busy day.
It's fair enough, but before you leave, I would like a personal tour. That is what I ask. A simple personal tour in favor of an incredibly skilled operator who will help you loyally and without issue.
This could be arranged. When were you looking to have this tour?
Well,
We're leaving tomorrow.
Seeing as though you're leaving in the morning, I would say as soon as possible. I don't
GM?
see why now isn't a possibility.
GM, quick question.
Yeah, hit me.
Do I know where the ship is? I mean, I know it's going to be like my ship and everything. Do I have access to it? Would I be able to do this tour with them?
Yes.
Or do I need to go above me to do it?
No, you have not seen it yet, but you and Gerald can gain access to it. It's just really you haven't been given the go-ahead to go see it yet, but it's not like you don't have the information to view it. You just... It's almost like nobody said go see it, so you're not sure if you should.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Gerald, do you have the evening to escort us to this ship and walk with us?
It is official church procedure that the vessels should be blessed prior to embarkation. That will take some time to prepare. If you could give us a little while, I think it's quite some time before, still many hours before we have to disembark. I think a proper arrangement could be completed by then.
At this point, Ty chimes in and goes, "Actually, might I watch this blessing? I mean, I would love a double feature." I have not had, like I said, the honor of spending much time on Genesis proper or getting to know your wonderful faith, so I would love the chance to broaden my horizons.
Oh, that's fair. There, since you are not particularly familiar with the Church of Matthias's procedures, I do have some paperwork that I can provide for you, as well as the requisite forms for pre-blessing blessings and the associated fees.
I think I'm going to have to ask you to waive those fees.
Oh, it's I mentioned the I can send the bill to the ADF.
Okay.
It's
All right.
very it is of course a matter of great faith.
It's a matter of great faith that we take your money. Give me 1 second.
Yes,
I
it
need
is.
Oh, we are going to
Yeah.
definitely do contested merchant skills at this point.
Mhm.
Because you are negotiating prayer money.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! And Aether's like, I'm just getting going. I'm going to get everybody's prayer money. I've been waiting for 9 sessions for this. Ooh. Okay, what'd you get?
24.
Okay. She takes a deep breath as you repeat again the processes for the blessings. And she goes, all right. I will acquiesce to your request for payment for the blessings. Will you take, I believe, she asked you if you will take an Axiom currency, basically, for conversion.
Oh yes, the church is very welcome to conversions of all denominational and monetary forms.
She goes, all right. She looks at Rex. She goes, go get my assistant. Rex chuckles. He's like, you're going to pay him? She's like, get my assistant and make the arrangements. And he gets up shaking his head. He's like, I can't believe you're going to pay this guy. And then he starts to walk around the table. And just as he says that, Alfred, you see like a darkness come over Taya Valkyrie's face. Like, that motherfucker just said shit to me? She grabs Rex's arm, which Rex is a stout, which is our version of a dwarf, and she's an ogre. So basically her hand is like his entire like upper arm. He stops and she looks at him and goes, apologize to Captain Whitecastle. He looks at her, he goes, he punched me. She goes, I will not ask you again. You will apologize to him, and you will show him the respect he deserves from here on. And, like, this time, Rex realizes the gravity of the situation. Like, he got too comfortable. He got too comfortable with a pit bull. Not a pit bull, but, like, a junkyard dog.
A velociraptor.
Yeah, but... No, Mr. Pickles is okay. We can't shame Mr. Pickles.
I don't want to lie the name of the velociraptor.
Just a nasty... He got too comfortable with something that's actually very, very mean. And he realizes the danger he's in. And then he just stops. And you see, like, a small amount of fear come over his face. As she, like, releases him, he turns towards her and goes, I'm very sorry. And then he turns towards Alfred and goes, I'm very sorry for everything that happened. And I apologize for disrespecting you.
I stand up and move around the table to stand before him. And I hold out my hand for it to shake it.
He shakes it. He doesn't want to get the shit kicked out of him. He doesn't want to get
And
thrown
I
out of the
say-
airlock.
So, does this mean we're burying the hatchets? And I lean in, like with emphasis.
You can tell it takes every fiber of his being not to say some backhanded or passive-aggressive shit to you right now. But he legitimately, like, you don't even need to roll for it. He legitimately fears the woman sitting drinking tea behind him. So he stops himself. Like, it takes everybody. He's like, consider the hatchet buried. From here on out, you'll only get respect and honor from me.
Then I apologize for punching you twice in the face.
Again, you see every fiber of his being. Thank you. I accept your apology.
Good man! I slap him on the shoulder.
Again, every fiber of his being keeps him from doing anything, and he walks out to make the payment arrangements. Taya, her features soften a little bit now that business is dealt with. And then much more secure in the fact that everybody's scared of her again. For a second, though, they weren't, and she didn't like that. She turns back to Joan, and she goes, I trust that you trust that I am good for the money. So if we don't mind, let's go ahead and get on with it. This time, she's being much more, like, her tone is much more threatening. Not in a way that she's going to kill you, but much more like, all right, merchant, you got your money. Let's fucking get on with it.
Yes, then I can begin, if it's okay, I can begin arrangements. It's definitely important that the captain does need to be present for the ceremony.
All
And
right.
what about the first officer?
Yes, I believe there may be a minor upcharge for the additional blessedness, but I think it's very small for the core crew, for the bridge crew. Yes. I think probably just the first officer or XO. Additional staff is I probably need my pad to get that exact, but I think yes, I can. I think one would be good.
Taya
We
interrupts.
had a rearrangement of staffing very recently. Nulla Stonehand is going to be taking the place of Thaddeus as my first officer. XO.
Taya goes, that's interesting. Thaddeus stepped down, and Nullus will be on the mission by himself.
He has other duties in need of attending.
Contested charisma manipulation.
I knew it. I was actually going to kind of do that too.
She's coming for you on that one. She's coming for you.
I'm gonna go for the perception awareness
Okay.
Oh,
reader.
all right. Manipulation. Okay. 14.
This I have no idea. That's a 9, and I am not spending the momentum.
Okay. She believes you. You could tell. She's like, oh, all right. I'm surprised that Thaddeus isn't going along, but that's fine. As far as Nellis's presence there, I would personally like to get this done, so let's just go. I also don't want to pay for another person to be at the blessing of the blessing of the blessing, if you don't mind.
Oh no, it would definitely, it is all fees are accounted for by the individuals present, as well as their their affiliated accepted deities.
She pounds the desk really quickly. Just like, boom! And then she calms down and she goes, I'll tell you what. I'll pay for Mr. Whitecastle. No problem. Let's just go.
Oh, that's that's very appreciated. Uh, yes. Mr. Whitehouse, we should gather Mr. Stonehand and I need to acquire some things from my room. Uh,
All right. One moment.
yes.
I go up to the intercom. There's got to be an intercom in this conference room, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And I try to key in to reach Nellis in his quarters.
Okay. Nellis, you get called.
Noah's here.
Howard.
Nellis, White Castle. We are going to be taking a tour of the ship. I think it's a good idea for you to be there and to take a look around.
Sounds good to me. I'll be right down.
All right, we'll be there shortly. We have to pick up a few things, but we'll meet you post haste.
All right. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. So, here's what happens. You guys go down, you see the ship. I loved this picture of the ship so much that it's definitely going to be our ship. I posted it on the stream. Anybody watching can see it. I think it's a really cool ship. It totally fits the aesthetic. I don't know where you got it from, so if somebody is mad at me for using this art, just be mad at me. I don't make money off this.
Is this the art I posted in Discord?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, so this is from I borrow a lot of things from Star Citizen.
Okay. I thought it was Star Citizen.
This is a luxury ship that you have to spend a lot of money for.
I thought it was either Star Citizen or Warframe.
Oh, that's fair. It does look kind of like a Warframe ship. It's true.
But yeah, I think this perfectly fits like the whole religious motif, and I still think it also comes off really cool. So we're using that as our ship design. So that's what you guys see when you head to the hangar. Aether gets all his stuff. You guys do the blessing. Only Taya keeps to her word. She's the only one there. She watches the blessing quietly. Then you guys take her on a tour of the ship. She doesn't necessarily go out of her way to touch anything or be invasive in any way, shape, or form. She just lets you lead her through the ship. And really, it's more like all of you kind of discovering the ship yourselves. Like, while Wizard, you would have been privy to the blueprints of them previously, at least like the layout. You wouldn't necessarily know that in practice. You know what I mean? So it's kind of almost like I think this is over here. I think this is over here. Sort of thing. So you guys would go through the ship and learn everything. As far as what it is, it's relatively small. Think slightly bigger than the Milano from Guardians of the Galaxy 1, if you've seen that. Their ship, their main ship. That's kind of what it is. It's a much smaller ship, which really you don't see that much of in the Hearth Collective or even the ADF. They don't usually use that. It's like, usually they'll use smaller shuttles, but they won't use like Corvette-class ships. So this is kind of rare to it, and you kind of understand why it's the ship they're picking, because this could definitely find a place in the mountains to set down. Everybody has a room on the ship, crew quarters wise. However, the room is very small, cylindrical. There's like one kind of like single bed, then like a walkway through the middle, a small desk with like a computer set up, and then a locker for like your personal belongings. The entire room is probably like 15 by 15 tops, 15 by 10 tops. They're not big areas. Not 15 by 10. It would be like 20 by 10. They're not big rooms at all. They're much more like a submarine room, if you can think about that. So they're very small, but you each have them in kind of a crew area, kind of next to each other. And there's actually a name tag on each with where you're staying, so you don't even have to fight over what rooms. I will say Wizard's room is slightly bigger and slightly better because he has captain's quarters for the ship, or he was supposed to anyway. And then one other room is relatively large, and that is, of course, Gerald Braco's. because Gerald Abrego is the
Big
money.
man.
He's the money.
Yeah.
He's the money. So yeah. And then other than that, you guys go through. There's normal amount of weapons and thrust. It's a nice ship. Wiz, when you get up to the cockpit, you can tell that it's very fancy. But it's nothing you haven't handled before or flown before, so you should be able to handle it just fine. But after you guys go through the ship, you tour it a little bit. Ty goes, well, thank you very much. I will send Mr. Welker over post haste so that you can meet him and he can get prepared to go with you planet side. Thank you. This transaction has been most enlightening, and I wish you all good luck. And then she turns, walks out, unless anybody says anything to her, leaving the three of you alone on your ship in the middle of the night.
Well,
I don't say anything to her.
Mm-hmm.
I would also cut in a little bit that almost the second that we walk out of the conference room before all this starts,
Okay.
Gerald is gonna absolutely start rambling at Alfred about all the everything is that you know what, let's just do that quickly.
Okay.
You're just walking out of the conference room to this quarter for things is Mr. Whitecastle, I should say we I know it's an admiral and it's very impolite to say, but she's definitely not trustworthy at all, and I've definitely been trying to get to buy us time, and I think it's very dangerous for her to be on the ship. And also everything else that's going on with Mr. Stonehand. And there's I'm not used to this many conspiracy plots, and this is very concerning.
I absolutely agree.
Okay, good. Thank you.
We just keep going. And
It's fine. You're like, I don't trust this person. Like, I don't trust anybody.
I don't know. That's very wise that you don't trust her. Very wise.
Oh,
I can see why you were a man of the religion, wisdom.
Well, I want a quick show of hands of who trusts anybody, and who they trust in this game right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I trust my sword.
I think Pickles has one person that they trust.
I trust Pickles.
Okay, good. That's
I mean,
it.
in fairness, Pickles was owned by somebody previous, so I don't know if you can even trust Pickles. Even Pickles got secrets.
What's the secret behind Pickles? I mean, is there's something going on with that lizard? He's got those shifty eyes at some point. He ate that guy.
He ate that guy.
Yeah.
He ate that one guy.
True.
All right.
Yeah.
So we will then.
I do say, I say to White Castle, what Ketch isn't even going to come check out the ship?
So there's been a slight change of plans. Thaddeus won't be joining us, and you're now my first mate. Congratulations, you've been promoted.
What?
Thaddeus, I went to discuss logistics with Thaddeus after our conversation, and he told me that he is going to be preoccupied, and will not be joining us on this expedition. I'll discuss this more with you tomorrow after we've launched, but I needed a first mate, and I needed somebody who I could trust. That would be the person that ran into a room as I was trying to kill a monster to help me fight other monsters who are also trying to kill me.
Appreciate the confidence. You do realize I've been with the Hearth Collective for no time at all?
I do. I also realize that you have a crack shot and nose magic.
You're so obsessed with this nose thing, but yes, I have nose magic.
The only other caster of any sort we had was Thaddeus.
Oh man.
And he's just gonna run away from the mission for no apparent reason because he has other things going on.
Look, I know you two have said something of a falling out. Thaddeus is getting older, and if he says that the strain between you two would be too much of a distraction for him and for you, then I understand his reserve in that regard and his age and time spent here as a trainer as another point of reason he would not want to be on this mission. Ultimately, when it comes down to it, it's his decision.
It's disappointing. I took him for more of a more strongly willed than that, but so be it.
Well, I will say that this is a very big day for you, and that was not exactly the reaction I thought for giving you a promotion, but we'll celebrate about that maybe after we get back from killing the hell monster.
I'm sure celebrations will be in order. Yep.
Abrego.
Yes.
Turning over to Abrego.
Yes, Mr. Whitecastle?
What do you make of this whole scenario with the Admiral coming down like this? Have your people had any contact with Siam? Was there any reason why she would want to visit the ship prior to launch that you can think of?
That's I'm really I'm only like rank 3. We don't really talk off world.
But you're being sent off-world, and you're kind of the key to the vessel I've been assigned captain of.
Yeah, it's very concerning. This was not part of. I have not been sufficiently blessed to be informed of the reason for this.
I'm gonna do a perception awareness check to see if he's kind of BSing me here. If he actually knows something.
Okay.
Oh, dirty 20.
I don't think Gerald knows anything.
Has no idea.
I don't think Gerald
In
knows
fact,
a goddamn thing. Honestly,
He knows so little that if he sounds like he knows something, he's bullshitting.
Yeah, he's very very ignorant to the situation at hand in any way, shape, or form, other than his specific fiscal duties. that's it.
Very good at that, but that's the whole. None of this makes any if the whole bit. Yeah, anything. If you thought that there was any anything other than quick evasive movements to anything that just happened, nope.
Okay. So, you know nothing. So, you don't know why she wants to come on this ship. You don't know why she has seemed to have shown an interest to you, Nullis.
She doesn't seem to have told anything true, so it's definitely not anything she said.
This is going to be a very long voyage.
I do hope so. If this mission does not go well, then it will be very, very short and unsuccessful. So, here's to a long voyage. Um,
That wasn't exactly what I meant, but all right.
All right. So you guys all go back. You go to sleep. You get a few hours of sleep. You're waking up the next day, ready to launch. You guys meet Heath Welker. Heath Welker does not look like a Heath Welker at all. He is 100%. Well, everybody give me knowledge intelligence checks.
That's 16 for me.
Okay.
I'm gonna pay for the reroll. 17.
Okay. Might as well. We somehow managed to spend an hour on the ship again. 2 hours. Nearly 2 hours on the ship again.
13.
Okay. So Phil got a 16. Alfred got a 13. What'd you get, Gerald?
17.
Okay. All right. Okay, so this is information for all of you. On Axiom, there is the Tochi Empire. The Tochi Empire, well, there used to be the Tochi Empire. They were dominated by the affiliation and kind of folded into them, okay? But the Tochi were like a samurai culture. Yeah, a lot of them have very dark skin, not dark skin, dark hair, and you could just tell their descent. So the minute you see him, you're like, oh, wasn't expecting this out of a Heath Welker. But he kind of walks in. He's actually wearing kind of like almost traditional like Japanese garb. Like kind of like a kimono, big kind of Hakuma pants. He has a sword at his waist. And yeah, he just, actually no, not Hakuma pants. They would be like he'd be more like a ninja getup. Almost like tighter clothes, kind of wrappings on the legs, that sort of thing, because he's about to work in the field. And then he's got a sword at his belt, and then a backpack thrown over his shoulder with other accoutrement on it. But yeah, he's just got kind of short, close crop black hair that's kind of combed back. He has incredibly good posture. He looks very regal and very proud of himself. But he kind of steps up to all of you guys very quietly, and he goes, "Captain, which one of you is the captain?"
That would be me.
He extends his hand. "Heath Welker, at your service."
I extend my hand and shake it. Ah, Mr. Welker, your friend Nullus speaks very highly of you.
Perception plus awareness. How does Nullus react?
Okay, hit it. Perception plus awareness. Nullus, give me manipulation charisma real quick. It's contested because Nullus has to pretend to know him.
15.
Okay.
I'm actually was going to do the same thing.
Go for it.
Pretend to know and pretend to not be surprised by the random
It's just a political chess
up.
match at this point.
18.
Fuck.
Oh.
I've been
Okay,
had.
I got a 17.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right. Welker doesn't miss a beat. He turns right to Nullus and goes, Nullus, it's been quite a few couple of years. It's nice to see you again, and I'm glad to be adventuring with you." And then he extends his hand to you as well.
I shake his hand. Long time no see. Glad to see you're still alive out there.
Yes, the wound healed nicely. All thanks to you and your wonderful ranch hand family. I appreciate you guys taking the time to heal me, even though I was not from Genesis. And then, actually, what you guys got a 17. Gerald and White Castle, what'd you get on that roll?
I got a 17.
I had a 15, so.
You guys do notice one thing. One person that doesn't look normal, and that's Rex. Nullus and Heath have no problem, but Rex actually kind of like he cracks this knowing grin, this kind of shit-eating knowing grin, which means like somebody like he's in on something here. But Nullis and Heath, they definitely seem to know each other.
So, Heath, I'm told that you are quite effective with that sword. How are you in space travel in general? Any skills aboard a ship?
He turns and goes, unfortunately, I will be mostly useless on the ship itself. However, on planet side, I am incredibly skilled at stealth, infiltration, exfiltration, and of course, combat. I also have worked in the steppes before, as well as in the Dead Seas before. I have quite a bit of knowledge of the area and what to expect. So I believe I will be incredibly useful to this mission. I'm glad that Mr. Stonehand took the initiative to request me.
Indeed. Indeed. So are we on the ship at the moment, or are we just...
No,
like,
you guys are next to the ship in the hangar. Like, he showed
Okay.
up. He showed up kind of in a shuttle. Harrison Arn and Ty aren't here. Harrison's got to handle business and shit. There's no way to avoid that. Same with Taya. They've done their piece. It's time for you guys to launch and take care of the mission. Rex just kind of steps up and goes, "Great, we're all friends here, right? Everybody's great, right? It's like nobody ever punched anybody in the face. So how about we all get on the ship and go do our jobs? What do you say?" Kelly is also here, the medic that Gerald requested as you guys' director. She's there too. She's doing okay. She's got like a slight limp, but she's doing way better than she should be, having been kind of cleaved in twain.
Yeah. How's she reacting to all of this?
Give me perception awareness. And you'll get a momentum if you succeed.
I did not succeed.
Okay, you do not gain a momentum, nor have you any idea how Kelly feels.
Yeah, I blew those good dice rolls in the first two with my merchant skills, and everything else has just been downhill.
Right. All right.
Is Hobbs there, and do we have a mechanic? I was in the process of picking a mechanic when the very beginning.
Oh, I forgot the mechanic, didn't I?
Hobbs should be there, I think.
Hobbs is there. Hobbs is definitely there. And I'm also going to say Hobbs fits the mechanic role so that I don't have to, on the spot in the 9th hour, come up with a mechanic right now. So let's just say Hobbs has a lot of mechanical abilities that fits for now, and he can be replaced later. Since this is not the expedition, this is the impromptu mission of vengeance.
All right.
And definitely not multiple plots.
There are so many plots going on right now. I'm having a hard time keeping track of them. I'm not gonna lie. ThereThere's actually a Pickles plot. There's so many goddamn plots. It's ridiculous. we've put so many threads. Put so many threads in motion.
The Pickles comic strip. That's what I'm. As soon as it hits the stores, first issue, number 1.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Wait, Pickles has got a secret? Yes, Pickles has a secret. Everybody has a goddamn secret in this. All right. So, so you guys are good. Hobbs is there. He's ready to go. He says the engines are prepped. He thinks the ship is a beauty. He can't get it started because Gerald Abrego's not on it yet. But other than that, he does convey to you rather stealthily that, like, that is actually true. This ship will not start unless Gerald Abrego is on it.
All right. Shall we board?
Everybody.
And I move to step on the ship.
Yes.
Let's go.
All right. You guys all get on the ship. You load up. You start that bad boy up, and it comes to life. It hums to life and starts to float up. The cockpit is also kind of like the Milano from Guardians. It's got like a main kind of seat and some like kind of screens around it, while you can also see out of the front kind of window, so you can visually see, but you also have a bunch of screens in front of you that allow you to have 360 view of the cameras. It's a real nice setup. You kind of pick up the controls, the flight controls, and then there's some other seats that people can sit in the actual cabin to watch. There's only about like 2 or 3. Like, this isn't like a Star Trek ship. This is a small, small Corvette class type of ship. So we're talking like Millennium Falcon. This isn't like a big crude ship. You got a pilot, and that's it. That's really all you need. So the captain takes it out. And for the first time, I get to ask you to go ahead and give me... which one was the pilot role? Fuck me.
Intelligence?
For not right. It's intelligence, but there's a skill that actually... Is it navigation?
Is there a special seat I have to sit in? Or is this just I
No.
walk in the door?
If you're on the ship... Basically, the ship is constantly scanning for your specific genetic code. If it does not read your specific code, it won't launch. It's kind of like a car nowadays, like a newer car with those stupid fucking keys that don't actually go into the car. That if they're in your pocket, they somehow just start the car. Like, that's what it is. Like, if you're in the ship, the ship will start. If you're not, the ship will not start. Start. Period.
So Gerald Brago is like the really obnoxious keys that I always lose.
Yes.
But I have to keep around in order for the push button to work.
Yeah.
Batteries always dies at the least effective time.
Yeah, he is definitely it. So it's going to be navigation navigation perception. Sorry.
Okay. Oh. It's going to be a 15.
Okay. All right. You take her out just fine, and you're finally in space. And there is a feeling of kind of like accomplishment here, even though it's not the expedition. It feels like you have gone through so much just to get this ship into space. So there is a feeling of like achievement when you and your crew finally actually leave the hangar to go on a mission. Even though it's not the mission you want, there is something that just kind of warms the cockles of your heart as you kind of move out of this ship and into space towards Axiom. You set a course for Axiom, and it's a good course. It'll take you kind of towards the north side of the planet, which will allow you to head into the Northlands and your specific place. You have the coordinates for where you're supposed to land, and that's going to be a real tricky landing because you've got to fly into the mountains. But it's going to take you, it's probably going to take you a couple hours to get there via the jump. But you program into the Astral Drive. You kind of click in through the Astral Drive, and then the Astral Drive clicks into place. What is the Astral? Oh, the Astral Drive is this machine that basically uses magic, the engineering skills of the archipelago, as well as the power of the Nex from Genesis. The Nex powers a sophisticated computer system that literally casts a spell that can't be cast by a human mind, allowing the ship to enter the astral plane, move through the astral plane to its point of exit above the planet. So you pass into the Astral Drive, and everybody really quickly give me an endurance conditioning check. Difficulty is a 10.
15.
Endurance conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
19.
All right.
22.
So I'm going to say this. Alfred and Nellis, you guys have actually... Oh, I'm sorry, what'd you get, Gerald?
22.
Okay, all right. You guys have actually traveled through Astral Drive before, without a doubt, just given your backstories. But it's been a while, and you feel that telltale like drop of the stomach as you pass from one plane of existence to another, and then everything goes kind of into the bland white light with weird black streaks that you see every once in a while. Not warp. Like, it seems like you moved into void space, basically. That also always gives you this sense of vertigo when you look directly at it, which is where the sclera comes from. But basically, there is a maddening effect of it, because when you look at it, it's definitely not a thing that is meant for normal beings' eyes to see. Kind of eternity stretched out before you, and you kind of have to look away a little bit. Gerald, you have never done an astral drive jump, and this is mind-numbing for you. It takes every inch of your endurance to not vomit and or laugh and or scream. First, the vomit at the sudden dropout of the stomach when you pass from one plane of existence to the other. But looking directly at the astral drive, like I said, is a maddening effect that for the first time is very hard to get used to. Staring at eternity and how small you are in it is the feeling you get when you look out the windows. And it is not a pleasant feeling in any way, shape, or form. That being said, you are a very endurance. You have a lot of endurance, so you are able to manage it. You are able to brisk it without showing anything on your face of the horrible pain and empty, meaningless feeling that you're experiencing right now.
Yeah. Gerald takes it, even though because it at least doesn't look any more different than the awkward, kind of wobbly moving he's been doing, walking on ships that are moving. Not used to this. Going to have to go back to his quarters after this, though.
Okay.
And feel about things.
So you're just like, you'll have to excuse me, and then you just kind of walk to your quarters to stare at a wall. All right. So you pass away. White Castle and Nullis, you guys are the only ones there. Hobbs has headed down to the engineering to get more acquainted with it. Kelly has moved to the small medical bay that you have on the ship to get more acquainted with that. Rex and Welker just kind of head towards their cabin to get a little bit more sleep before they land, as they are useless on the ship. So anything else you guys want to do now that you're alone?
I turn over to Nellis and say, Abrego has to come with us when we go on our mission.
Yeah, I figured as much. I don't know how smart it would be to leave the man unprotected on the ship. And also, as I said, according to my sources, we're going to be landing at a trading such outpost, which is fond of the men of the clergy.
And
so he may prove useful there.
And if he's with us, nobody can steal our ship.
Correct. Yeah, they can't fly this thing without. Who would have thought that big idiot would be the key, but seems he is.
He is not going to like this. We're going to need to talk him into it.
He's gonna put a gun to his head. Talked into it.
Seems to me, Alfred, that you have the gift of the tongue. Not so much myself, so I think not to go against your higher ranking, but I think you should be the one to talk him into this.
I will, of course, approach the subject with him, but I want you there with me. Any support that I can have will be a boon in this situation. He doesn't seem to be one for action.
Yeah, I don't get that impression. Yet somehow
he's gonna get it, whether he wants it or not.
You do got to admit, though, somehow that lucky bastard somehow saved the Risen. Accident, coincidence, or whatnot.
Which is another reason why I would like him to be with us. Something is going on with Abrego. I don't think he knows what it is himself. But he's never been to space. Apparently, he doesn't know anything about space, but they keyed this ship to his DNA. I don't know why they would do that. From my understanding, there were a couple of cooks buried in our ranks that you were able to prevent from kidnapping him. We don't know what they want. Something's going on with that man. We need to keep a close eye on him, and we need to make sure that nobody, except for you and I, he is not on this ship alone with anybody if you and I are not there with him.
Wiz, I'm going to need you to either check your text or your Facebook Messenger before you continue this conversation to make sure you have not forgotten about something. I believe from that face you definitely... Okay,
yes.
I was about to say.
You're right.
I feel like you forgot about something because you've
I did.
had many chances to do this, and I want to make sure that it's not because you forgot.
It would have been because I forgot.
Yeah.
I got caught up in the moment.
Well, I'm going to end the stream soon, and I wanted to definitely get that out before we finished.
Are we in agreement with this, Nellis?
Yeah, I mean, seems that we all have our secrets, don't we?
Yes.
I kind of wink at you.
Speaking of which,
Go on.
Thaddeus wanted you to have this. I know you two were close. I know there's a falling out, but he thinks that this will help you on your journey. And I hand him I pull out a book from my pack or whatnot, and I hand it to him.
All right. Did you read it?
Actually, I did not. I gave it a quick looking over. We don't have this kind of magic where I'm from.
Fair enough. Well, it'll give me something to do on the flight, I suppose.
Thaddeus is a good man, and I could tell in his heart that he does truly care for you. Give that consideration as you read over whatever he wanted you to see in this book.
Will do. Appreciate it.
All right. So, at this point, Nellis, you look at the book. The book is specifically an ancient book, and it's a little bit hard to get through, but Thaddeus had taught you some tricks during your time working on magic with how to kind of decipher ancient axiom, basically. This book specifically refers to demon-touched people and what the triggers are, like what it can do, like every experience like documented by the ancient axiom people is in this book for you to look through.
Okay. I obviously want to explore it.
Well, you've got an hour, so we'll probably let you go back to your room and read that, and we'll come back with what you've learned next session. I do want to wrap up with one other thing. Gerald, you are in your room, staring at the wall, thinking about how small and meaningless your life is. When you get a message on your private kind of like PDA thing, the PDA not that comes with like the Hearth Collective or anything, but the PDA that comes directly from the church, okay? Like this is like your lifeline to the church. You can't do video calls because you're too far away, but you can still receive messages every so often. All the message says is you're in danger as like a subject line.
Yeah.
Do you open it?
Yes.
All right. Inside, it says, "You're in danger. You're not who you think you are." And then there is a picture, a very grainy picture attached to it. That grainy picture seems to have come from a very long time ago. And that picture, strangely enough, shows a dinner table in a restaurant. On one side of it is... God damn it, this would be so much better if I could remember names. On one side is Tobias Pelton, your reverend, the person who sent you here, the man who basically funds your family, who helped bring them into the fold, who your father swears by and your mother swears by. And across the table from him is none other than your mother. Yes, the armadillo, your mother, sitting at the table. And Tobias Pelton is holding her hand from across the table. And then that's where we're going to end. To be continued. Told you, everybody's got secrets. You just don't know what they are yet. Some of you don't know what they are yet.
Oh, boy. Oh, man.
And we finally get to the planet next time. so in 2 weeks... You know what's going to happen? It's going to be all this talking, and then we're going to have like 4 straight sessions of just murder. Yeah, just MDK all the way coming up, I am sure.
We're going into a meat grinder.
Yeah, basically. I love the role playing. Like, I always want to get further in it, but I'm like, no, I can't end these scenes yet. They're just too good. I can't end them yet. You know?
Yeah, man, this is intense. Some intense storylines we're developing here.
It's very intense.
Yeah,
man. There's a lot gonna come out in the next 4 or 5 sessions, without a doubt. A lot's gonna happen in the Dead Seas territory. I'm assuming.
I'm so looking forward to that.
I am too.
I'm really interested in seeing what that castle or the mountain looks like, guys. Like, I've been having all of these pictures in my head of what this hollow castle looks like, these wizards in the special chambers. Like, oh man, this is gonna be, ooh boy.
I'm very excited. So let's do the plugs, ladies and gentlemen. Above me, Aether Dios, you got anything this time to plug?
No, not particularly. It's still a little. It's just about time for another Star Citizen plug, but that doesn't start for another 2 weeks. So
hey,
I will plug that.
Yeah, when it happens, I'll try and play it with you. I promise this time.
I will happily try to kidnap everyone for an hour.
All right. Well, I'll have to peel myself away from Remnant 2. That game is my favorite game of all time.
It's really good.
Are you playing it?
I've been watching a lot of people playing it.
All right. I was about to say, if you're playing it, tell me, because I have no one to play it with because there's no crossplay. So, next to Aether is our Build Master General, Phil Billy 330. You got anything you want to plug, sir? And I know you do.
Well, obviously, this our TMNT stream that we do monthly, and then I have also been playing probably my favorite game that I've ever played in Baldur's Gate 3. Really enjoying that. So I do stream most of the time when I play, so if you ever want to hop in, I'd appreciate it.
Cool.
Yeah, dude, it's a lot of fun. I've been trying to catch up. His streams are long, and there's a lot of them, so I'm slowly moving through them. I'll get 15 minutes here or there, but that game, like I said, I have to force myself not to buy it just for the character creator. But next up, our unofficial partner in TTRPGs, Wizards Respite. What would you like to plug, sir?
Well, the Wizard's Respite, as always, is the website where you can find all of these back episodes. It's a sort of hub for all things TTRPG. as well as a new episode which is dropping tomorrow of the Wizard's Respite Sanctorum, where Zach and I do a deep dive into various games, all things also TTRPG, and we're going to be discussing 1,000-Year-Old Vampire.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun talking about it. We get into more like journaling stuff. I'm very excited about that stuff. As far as I'm concerned, every 2 weeks we play this game. Usually on a Wednesday. We're on a Thursday this week because of scheduling conflict, but most of the time it's on a Wednesday. If you're watching this on the back end, if you're not watching this live, please go to Wizard's Respite, give us both the view. If you're watching this live, come check it out, chat with us, talk with us. We love to hear from you. Same thing goes for our Turtles stream. We do that once a month. Right now it's Wizard and Philbilly 330, and it is just so much fun. It's so much fun. I'm having so much fun with it, and they're having so much fun, and you can just tell. It's the opposite of this, though. If you really, like, this is all political intrigue and tension. That is all just, like, funny, crazy, silly stuff of fights. It's great. It's absolutely great. It's such a wonderful contrast to this. That's the TTRPG stuff. Wizard already plugged the Sanctorum, which is great. You can also check out everything we have on this channel for video games. Other than the wonderful Philbilly Baldur's Gate 3 stream, I'm going to start streaming Remnant 2 on a regular basis. And then, of course, we have OMGM, which is about to finish Season 2, Prelude to Divorce, and our gaming podcast. So check out all that stuff. Check out anything you want here. I would appreciate it. And yeah, other than that, you guys can reach us on Facebook at OldManGamingDH. You can reach us on Twitter at OldManGaming9. You can join our Discord. The link is in the description below. You can influence this and all of our programs from there. Please go to WizardsRespite.com to check out Wizards Respite and all the juicy, awesome TTRPG stuff there, which is awesome. And then, of course, as long as you keep watching and listening, we'll keep making them. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Later, guys.
Adios.
Bye.